would you like to tell, since I'm going to tell you about a book, would you like to tell our lovely listeners what this segment is about?
Yeah, so we realized there was a large tranche of sentient object romance novels out there. And we're like, you know what? We should, let the world know that these exist. So
yeah.
We, every week, find one that tickles our fancy, read it, and then we share it with, each other and the world. And that segment is called S.O.S. or Sentient Object Smuht. My dear, what did you read this week?
First of all, I discovered something today. So last night, I've had this idea for my own sentient object romance kicking around in my mind. I came up with this idea earlier in the year, and I was trying to finish my third book, and I was like, I can't, I just wrote some notes down. I was like, I cannot stop what I'm doing so that I can do this one, shelving that for after this one's done. So this has been my plan, that I would finish that book and then write some silly nonsense and then go back to the small town series that I'm planning out. Well, I got this bee in my bonnet in the last couple of days where I was like, I just need to map it out. So I'm outlining it last night. And I have an entire outline. I'm all set. And so I told Mama Veronica that that's what I had been doing. And she was like, "Oh, tell me what it's about." And I was like, "Mom," I was like, I don't know if you're ready for this.
I don't think you're ready for this jelly. Could also be jelly. I mean, because it is sentient object. So.
Absolutely. So I was like, I don't know that you're really ready for this. But I was like, first, I need to tell you about a genre of romance that you're probably not privy to.
No, yeah.
Which is sentient object romance. Ray, this woman shocked the shit out of me.
No.
She goes, "Oh, the hockey stick?"
She's been listening.
I said, "I'm sorry, what?" She goes, "I listened to most of the last episode." I nearly died.
Mama Veronica.
Nearly died on the sidelines at my daughter's soccer game. Nearly just keeled right over. She's telling me she listened to last one.
Yeah, because doesn't he come ice? He comes ice.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or water, or really cold water or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, I repeat, how often is it that I embarrass you, Mom? It's frequent.
His hands are small and new. Perceives is something we were talking about earlier, but I thought it worked. Apropos of nothing.
She does know that at the end of every book discussion, not the sentient stuff, because obviously that would embarrass our moms, but I was like, at the end of the regular book that we're reading for the podcast, we always ask, would this book embarrass our mom? Yeah, this whole segment would embarrass our moms. At any rate.
When you and I talked about possibly writing one, and I was mentioning it to my mom, and she's like, "Oh, I want to read it." I said, you will
don't.
Not be reading it.
You don't.
No.
So she says to me, "What is the sentient object?" So I told her, and she indeed was not ready, but she did laugh and avert her eyes. So anyway, I'll tell you more about that later. Speaking of sentient objects, tonight I am so excited to take you back to the Kyleverse.
Excellent.
So
I've stayed away from the ones that I've chosen.
I know.
Should we tell people that we met one of the authors that we've done?
Oh my God, I
podcast?
totally forgot about that.
Or should we wait until we do the next one by this author?
I guess because we cannot find where we did that. Let's talk about it the next time we cover one of her books. Because
it's
several.
My turn next time, so yes. I think I'm going to do one we talked about, so possibly.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so we have done more books from the Kyleverse.
Yeah, I leave them to you.
And I appreciate it.
Well, you like to read a series from the beginning.
I do like to read a series from the beginning. I'm trying to get to the whole series. I want to. There we go. Okay. I began with Rake. I skipped Faulty because it's a Furby, and I'm not into that. I don't want to know. Good for everyone.
It's a kid's toy. It's kind of gross.
It creeps me out. But good for you, not for me. I just didn't want to read it.
Nah.
But I did cover Wrapped for this show. Wrapped as in a wrapped present, not wrapped as in attention.
Yeah.
So I am here tonight to present to you book number 4 in the Kyleverse called Nimbus. Can you please tell me? It's not a broom.
It's a cloud. It's a cloud.
It's a cloud. It's a cloud.
How does... Wait, okay. Well, now you're going to
I
tell
am
me.
going to tell you all about it. I'm going to
Okay.
tell you all about it. Okay.
Okay, I'm excited.
Okay.
I'm doing a little shack shake. So excited.
I'm excited. Okay. So this book, it's about 60 pages. I read it in an hour or less. It's on Kindle Unlimited. So, it is actually an romance, which I was perfectly happy with.
Yeah.
As we know from this universe, I guess, there's a lot of like LGBTQ normalized kind of relationships or situationships happening because
He's up to some
activity.
stuff, man.
Anyway, so as he says in this book, believe me, a cloud is not the weirdest thing I've done.
I mean, a rake, man. I mean,
I
cloud
guess
is
there's
tough,
a Furby in there, a birthday present that becomes a man, So anyway, I really hope Mr. Veronica can hear me. So anyway, this one follows Owen. He is our human male main character.
Okay.
And Owen has what I would assume is severe anxiety and gets panic attacks like kind of regularly. I think because he gets like overwhelmed with things, maybe has an existential crisis, things like that. He's kind of accident prone and a little shy, probably. So at any rate, Owen's having this day and he always says it's like he feels like the sky is falling. So he's having this day where he's feeling really overwhelmed and he kind of ducks into like an alley to basically have a panic attack in peace and is like trying to calm himself down and is doing like grounding exercises, like if you have ever been to therapy.
Yeah. Find 5 things you
five
can
things
touch,
yes, exactly. You're grounding yourself in your senses and like kind of trying to like remind your brain of where you are so that you can stop the spiral. So that's what he's doing. He's like he's in this fucking alley trying not to have a panic attack. Oh, I guess I should say like the very, very beginning, the prologue of the book is him like he enjoys watching the clouds in the sky, and so he's like at this park watching the clouds in the sky, and this woman basically just kind of strikes up a conversation about like how pretty the clouds are, and
handsome.
he's like,
excuse me, handsome.
yeah, okay, like sure. And then when she walks away, she's like muttering something, and then he's like, well, that was weird. So then when the book opens, like he's having a hard day, he's in this alley having a panic attack, and then like this man walks like around the corner into the alley and like crouches down next to him and like kind of helps him get through the rest of his panic attack.
Okay. Good Samaritan. Got it. Okay.
Sure. And then Owen
steals all of his money.
Owen looks up to the sky and he's like, do you ever just have days where you feel like the sky is falling? And when he looks back to the guy, he's gone. Just completely gone. So then the next chapter, of course, you find out that the cloud
had become a man.
Yes, the cloud's name is Gale, which is funny.
Gale Force wins. Yep.
Exactly. If anyone from science class does not remember what a Nimbus cloud is, Nimbus clouds are like storm clouds.
Which is interesting that they chose a Nimbus for like the Harry Potter broom.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like lightning shooting through the sky, broom going through, I mean, I can see it.
Yeah.
So anyway, poor Gale, has no clue what happened. He's like, one moment, I am hanging out in the sky, people watching. And then the next minute, I am in an alley with Owen. Like, he's like, I don't understand.
Why am I a dog? Why am I human? Yeah.
I don't know what happened here.
Yeah.
But he likes Owen. Like, he feels drawn to Owen. And Owen feels calmer when Gale is there, but he also doesn't know Gale's name, like because Gale kind of like disappears, right? So Owen is working. Owen is working the next day, and nothing like things are going wrong, and he's starting to get anxious. Who walks through the door? But Gale, and Gale is like, he works in a coffee shop. Did I say that? He is. He's like, are you hiring or anything like that? Fills out a job application, but he's like, I also don't have like a permanent residence, and so inexplicably Owen is like, you can just write my address down, it's fine. And then he ends up offering like to let Gail stay at his apartment. He's like, the couch pulls out.
Hey,
obviously,
person experiencing homelessness, would you just like, I don't even know your name. Would you like to live with me? Exactly. I mean, awesome. Good for you. Like,
yeah. You're a hot stranger.
So was Ted Bundy.
Right, exactly. Very charming. So they make an arrangement. They're like, okay, Owen says I get off work at X time or whatever he said, and then meet me at my apartment. So then Gail is a cloud again. And he's like, I have no idea how this works. Like, I don't know how I become a human. I don't know why I become a cloud again. I have no way to control this. And I don't know how I am supposed to go meet Owen at his apartment because I am a fucking cloud.
You know, I think that somebody should take these and like make almost like a Twilight Zone like TV show about all of these things.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, anyhow. Sorry.
Dear Netflix.
No.
Well, it shouldn't be passion flicks. Like, I mean, it's gotta be something.
No, let's pick something else. I don't know. I'm kind of, anyhow, we'll get it. We'll talk about that later.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So they eventually figure out that what brings Gail down from the literal clouds is that Owen, like, it's triggered by Owen's panic attacks. If Owen starts to have an anxiety attack or a panic attack, then Gail becomes a human, and he is magically in new clothes, like he ends up where he's supposed to be. So Gail ends up at the apartment, comes in, is chatting with Owen. Some sexy things happen, right?
Right.
And of course, you know, they're men. There's liquid in places, right? So like Gail goes to the restroom to go like clean up. Gail, mind you, has never done this before. Like, this has never happened to him before.
Also a question I have for these. You're essentially having sex with something that doesn't even understand what sex is.
Somehow, Gail knows.
I don't know.
Gail's good at things. Well, okay, so there's not been penetrative sex at this point. Other sexy things have happened.
Over the clothes, got it.
Other sexy things have happened. So, at any rate, Gail goes to the restroom to, like, clean up. Takes off his shirt and is like, he's like, I turned on the shower to like rinse off the shirt. And he goes, but I did not consider what being around that amount of water and hot water, like steam, would do to me. So he starts like becoming a cloud again, like in the bathroom.
Okay.
And Owen like knocks on the door and opens it to hand him a towel and is like, what the? Like,
where'd you go?
He's like sort of a cloud and like sort of like.
Did you ever see Trolls? I imagine it's like that one cloud guy, that like the one that's got the like the socks.
Are we talking? Wait, are we talking about the cartoon Trolls?
Yeah.
Okay, I recently saw because
maybe it's Troll 2.
My daughter.
No, it's Troll 1. Yeah.
I think I've only seen Trolls band together. In Sync shows up at one point. That's the only one I've seen. We recently watched.
Oh, do yourself a favor and watch the first one. It's so cute.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at any rate, Owen, understandably, kind of freaks out and like locks himself in his bedroom.
Right.
And to his credit, Gail, like, because once he like opens the door and some of the steam like disperses, then he is able to like be a human again. And so he goes and like knocks on the bedroom door and he's like, look, Owen, I'm sure you're freaking out. I can't explain, sort of. And I would like the opportunity to explain to you whenever you are ready. Like, whenever you're ready to talk, you let me know. Well, then Gail leaves. And he's like, I don't know if I can come back, right? I don't know how to go back. Because they don't know at this point what is making him become a human.
Right. He could just...
I filled in the gap for you because, like, it was easier.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
We needed to know that information.
Thank you.
So at any rate, Owen now spends like a day. He goes to work the next day and is like, cannot wrap his mind around what just happened. He's like sitting outside of work, like drinking an iced tea or like something. He's just like trying to like wrap his mind around his life. Who of course walks by but Kyle, because Kyle is a frequent coffee house guest at this.
Okay.
I forget what it's called. Something about a bean, which is funny because there are no beans involved. Like there are
no beans. No, there are no beans.
There are no beans. So Kyle is clearly struggling, and Kyle is like, what's going on? Like, tell me. And Owen's like, you would not believe me if I told you. And of course, Kyle says, try me. Just try me. Oh, nice. Yeah. I mean, maybe. Does he have arms and legs? Okay, so we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that later. Okay.
I'm going to leave it up.
So Kyle is like, try me. Please do. Kyle's like, just try me. Go ahead, just tell me. So he's like, a cloud. Is this going on YouTube? A cloud used his hands on me last night. And Kyle is like, huh. Interesting. And did you like it?
I love that Kyle's always the voice of reason. Like, let me talk you down from this experience that you're having.
He really is.
I'm going to normalize this for you. And you're going to be fine. We're going to talk through it. Yeah.
I do need to read
you.
you.
For Kyle.
Right. I do need to read you what they end up. How this conversation sort of takes a turning point. He says, I see. And you wish he would have told you before he did these things? No, I wish he wasn't a cloud. I say it a bit too loudly, causing pedestrians to look my way. Why? Kyle leans forward as I try to formulate a response. Is cloud sex not good? No. What? That's not the point. It was great, thank you. Then what is the point? You can't go around having sex with clouds, I say without any confidence, feeling utterly confused. But before last night, I would have meant it, and now I'm doubting myself. Kyle says, if a cloud offered me sex, I'd probably take it. Kyle squints, tilting his head up and looking skyward. You can let your cloud friend know I'm down in the case you're not. He shrugs. Or if you were down and wanted to share.
Oh, that's right, because Kyle likes to get in on this stuff, too. That's
Kyle
right.
gets in on this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they've now had this conversation, and Gail watches Owen, from the sky.
Yeah, he's like, look at my human walking around on two legs, having a dick.
Right.
Yeah.
Just living his life. So Owen then ends up going to the park and is like laying down on a blanket and kind of watching the clouds. And of course, Gail is watching him. And then
I got a feeling somebody's watching me and he's a cloud.
I'll be watching you. We're going to get sued by the police. So, at any rate, then, how does this go? Okay, so, this is Gail's perspective. He says, this isn't fair. Why would any of this happen in the first place if I can't get to him now when I need to most? What was the point of it all? My mind starts to race, and I can feel myself unraveling, and I realize I'm having a sky is falling moment of my own. When sensation overwhelms me and I am falling from the sky. Well, maybe not falling, but it is unsettling being high in the atmosphere one moment and then somehow in human form on the ground in the next. I look around trying to get my bearings. The sudden change in perspective is disconcerting. I don't think I'm too far from the hillside where Owen is laying on his blanket. He finds him, sits down next to him, and they end up like talking a little bit and
just talking. Okay,
just talking while they're in public on this blanket.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, we don't really know how this works, but Owen says you seem to conveniently show up whenever I need you. For now, that's good enough. We'll figure the rest of it out.
Mm-hmm.
So they, of course, go back to the apartment and like do sexy things, like obviously,
right? As you would with a fucking cloud.
Duh.
Right?
Can you guess what cloud spend is or tastes like?
Cotton candy. Tastes like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know. They don't say like what it is, but he says clouds really do taste like cotton candy.
Okay, so that is both my answers. What it tastes and it looks like, yes.
Fair. I think both are fair. So anyway, Gail is like, tell me what you want.
what you really, really want.
Well, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want, and that is to have an activity with you in cloud form.
Oh, okay. Envelop you in my cloud.
No, Owen wants to enter the cloud.
He wants to push it in as he's a cloud. Got it.
So Gale is like, I don't even know how that works, and I don't know if I can't, like, is it even safe? Because he's like, I am a Nimbus cloud, I have thunderstorms, you know what I mean? Like what about lightning, you know?
Does Owen watch like the mist or the fog and get fucking hard? Like, what is happening?
No idea. Like, so these are all things he's like, I don't know, I've never done this before. Like,
right.
I don't know. Is it safe? That's like the primary concern, honestly.
Is it safe?
They're like, I don't know. I have lightning when I'm a cloud, you know? So, like, is it safe for us to do this? Mm-hmm. Hold on to that thought. So anyway, Owen is like, you know, I have this friend.
Kyle.
Enter Kyle. So
Kyle's gonna be entering something
later. So Kyle shows up. He agrees to, like, come and essentially, like, monitor, so that there's, like, a third person. They agree that, like, having another person there would be good for, like, safety reasons.
Oh,
so
makes sense.
Kyle comes over, and they basically, like, they all talk ground rules. They figure out what they're comfortable with, and Kyle is like, okay. He's like, begins as like the moderator. Like, we're gonna make sure he's like the safety person. We're just gonna make sure that everything's okay. They basically set up, I don't remember exactly where this is, but they essentially set up like makeshift lightning rods, which are like metal pans.
Yeah. Okay.
They decided to do this in the living room because I think it's like the most space, and
they call up Bill Nye the Science Guy. They're like, listen,
right.
We got an experiment.
Bill Nye shows up and screams science, and then,
and then he's like, fuck you all, and leaves,
and then lights a globe on fire.
Kind of a
you know?
dick. Yeah, he's kind of a dick in real life. That's all right.
I don't know, I kind of love him. So
no, I do too, but he's known to be a dick. Anyhow,
perfect. That would track.
Yep.
So they know that being in the shower, like being in the bathroom with a bunch of steam, will turn him into a cloud. So that's what they do. Owen goes into the living room to wait, and Kyle basically like sets up the bathroom. Gale goes in the bathroom to transform himself into a cloud. Okay. And Kyle says, "Oh wow, you are breathtaking." Kyle stares at me, momentarily thunderstruck by my transformation. He comes to his senses and backs out of the room, taking his place in the bedroom away from possible danger. Until we know things are safe, he is to wait out of the strike zone in case we need to call him for help.
If when Amazon/Netflix/Hulu options these as Twilight Zone remakes, the AC/DC Thunderstruck does not play in at some part in this episode, I would be really unhappy.
And if they don't allow the right, like, give the rights for that,
they don't care.
I'm gonna be furious.
Like, whatever. He's like, whatever. So that was funny.
Let him do it, you know. Smoke 18 packs a day. Mm-hmm. Okay, so anyway, Gale in cloud form floats his way out to the living room, where, of course, Owen is waiting for him. You feel kind of tingly, warmer than I expected. I like it. Obviously, Gale cannot talk in this form.
Oh, right, because it's in my mouth. Yeah.
Correct. So, anyway, Owen lays down, and Gale, like, hovers over him. And Owen does his thing.
Shoots up. Yep.
Owen likes that, and as I watch him writhe in pleasure, it's all too much, and I accidentally release a bolt of lightning. It arcs out, striking one of the makeshift rods, thankfully not causing damage. Owen stills for a second, eyes wide. Gale is worried that he has hurt him, but apparently it felt good for Owen. So he tells him to do it again. Kyle's head peeks out of the bedroom, and taking in the scene, he grins widely at us. Looks like everything is good. Very good. And then, of course, he takes off his own pants and starts, like, you know,
jumping into the
being
fray.
a voyeur.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Got it.
Just being a voyeur until Mr. Veronica. But then he does join in on the fun involving Gale the Cloud. Anyway, that's the first of the scenes. Kyle says that was unique, guys. Really. Thank you. I've never, ever had anything like that before. Wow. But I think you need a new frying pan and probably a drywall patch. At any rate, this is about 80% of the way through the book when, like, this concludes. What they realize, like, then we go back to Owen's perspective, they're realizing that it's not actually just negative emotions, like, it's not just an anxiety attack or a panic attack that can cause Gale to come down, like, it's also, like, really positive emotions, like when something good happens to Owen's sister, like, Gale, like, appears. So then, Owen is laying in the park watching the clouds. And the lady from the beginning shows up. And they're chatting a little bit, and she says, "Love always finds a way, my dear." And so then it sort of, like, gives this Beauty and the Beast sort of, like, you need to get true love's kiss kind of situation going on, you know?
Cloud is old
as time. So he looks up in the clouds and he says, "I think I love you, Gale." And then Gale, like, comes down. He says, "Sky falling moment?" He sits down next to me. I shake my head. "No, I think it's the opposite. I think I'm falling for the sky."
Cute.
Yeah, it is cute. And then there's a little epilogue with some more group activities involving Kyle.
Okay.
Honestly, it's pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie. And pretty good. And that's it. I recommend it.
I'm gonna move my microphone away from my mouth just to do this. Let the sky fall.
Such a good song.
It is a great song.
Such a great song. Anyway,
sorry for everybody's ears. I apologize.
Oh no, I actually think you were far enough away. Like, you didn't blow out my eardrums or anything.
Cool.
That was sort of a lengthy explanation of that book, but honestly, great.
Who's the author of that one?
Nicole Parker.
Nicole Parker. Okay.
And this series has, like, a lot of books in it now. I think more have been released since the last time I looked, because I think Fluff was the last one that I saw. There is now Heat, which is definitely an oven. It is a Friendsgiving special. And then, well, I knew Solved exists. Solved is the one with the Rubik's Cube. Wacky is, I think I knew about Wacky. It's a one of the, you know what I mean? Like
what they call
like
it?
They're outside a car dealership sometimes.
Yes. Yeah, like used car lots. Yeah.
Hosed, which is
a hose.
Hose. A spread is what looks like a spatula, maybe, or something. But there's a new one, it looks like, called Objectified, Kyle's version. So I think Kyle, like, some of these things from Kyle's perspective.
It'd be funny if Kyle ended up being, like, the ultimate object at the end of it, like the fucking Thanos of this whole Kyle verse. Cool.
Yeah.
How long is this masterpiece?
Objectified?
No, this one you just
Nimbus
read.
was about 60 pages.
Okay.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that.
Oh my God, you are welcome. Always here to, you know, bring the entertainment.
Yeah. Well, if you are watching from YouTube,
welcome.
Thank you. We are a bi-weekly podcast where we read a romance novel and we talk about it.
Sure are.
It's not, I mean, we usually just slip this in the beginning. It's the aperitif to our main review. You can find us a whole bunch of different places. You can like and subscribe below. You can follow us on Spotify. Do all those wonderful things.
Sure can.
If you are not joining us, if you are listening to us in your earballs, we are going to take a break right now.
We are.
And then we are going to come back and we are going to talk about all the missing
Small
pieces.
things. Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
All the missing pieces.
Yes. We will be back in 2 and 2. And that fucking Chuck Woolery is still dead.
He is.
In the ground.
Still
Warm
dead.
food.